Do what you got to do. I'm right here.
Thank you, thank you. Greetings, family. Let's just check these lives here and make sure we don't have an echo. And welcome. As you can see, we have a special guest tonight. Let's see if we got everything here rolling. Oh, see, I know it's gonna be an echo somewhere. Let's see here. Let's get all these echoes out of here. Any more echoes? Let's see here. Okay. And we got multiple streams going. So let me see if I got the other one live. Okay. Here we go. I think we are all set. And we're going to start with a little bit of a prayer this evening. And you guys have heard me say the prayer before. So this is just one of them that you may already know about. So we're going to start off with Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So, as you can see, brothers and sisters, we have a special guest tonight, the brother Rizza Islam, activist, author of Message to the Millennials, owner of the podcast Intellectual Extremist, health and wellness educator for you and your family. And in about a half an hour at 8:30, we're also going to have Sister Kafunya join us on this platform. So welcome, Rizza. It's so nice to see you. I'm grateful.
Peace, my sister. I'm honored to be on, honored by the invitation. Thank you for having me on your platform.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We want to say greetings to some of the family here who has said good evening to us. Love is light beings. Ooh, nice, Miss Bliss. See you tonight. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Tate, let's go. I'm ready. You ready? You ready for tonight? We got some wonderful things for you guys. The brother is Rizza Islam is promoting his book, and we will be providing information for you to be able to purchase that book, especially if you have a millennial in your house, or if you are a millennial who's watching this show tonight. I know we have some millennials who are watching this show, and they did say that they had some questions in regards to guidance and assistance. So the brother Islam, Rizza Islam, can provide some of that for you. He also have a product that he is promoting, and he can give you more details in regards to that product. Hey, Pernue, how are you? You ready? Thank you so much, Purdue. I appreciate you. I'm grateful. Thank you so much for the support. Love and light, everyone. So I guess we could kind of start with the book, just so you guys, I know some people have been asking me, there's Generation X, there's Generation Y, Z, all of these letters. So just so you know, the millennials are actually Generation Y. So Generation Y was born from 1981 to 1986, somewhere around those years. It's the first generation to be with so much access to the internet. The mobile devices, the usage, the social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, like all of this stuff. And they are considered the digital natives, more likely to possibly be spiritual, also in tune with their meditation and looking for a meaningfulness and mindfulness in regards to life. So yeah, Rizza, I'll let you take it over here.
Well, I'll say the beauty of this is there's a positive, and of course, we know the negatives when it comes to social media. But one of the biggest, most positive things is that social media has given us the ability to connect with people all across the planet in an instant, very quick, and no limit of time, really. It has also given us, I would say, an unlimited access to information. Now, the issue at times is how we utilize that information, what we put our attention on, what type of information, what quality of information that we put our attention on. And then it can either lead us into a very good position or a very negative position. So, and I actually spelled millennial differently because language, as we know, is very important as well. So I spelled it slightly different from how it is spelled dealing with just the generational circumstance because I wanted it to be more inclusive because it's more of a mentality than anything else. So the way I spelled it, dealing with milli or the strongest within 1,000, meaning the strongest within the generation that we are in and the strongest within every generation that in particularly fights against evil, wickedness, and negativity. That's the particular millennial that I put in this book. So basically, anyone of any generation who fights against the wickedness of this system or other systems, a satanic government, a satanic culture, and really overall negativity, I would consider to be a millennial spelled this way.
Mm. Wow, wow, that's very interesting. It's very unique. Thank
Mm,
you, thank you, thank you for sharing that. So the millennials today, you're right, they have access to information, actually overwhelming, information overload at this point, and it's kind of going to be, you can see where they'll get distracted or guided in the wrong direction. So
mhm,
the idea is to make sure that we grasp them right now, get a hold of them right now, and lead them and assist them in going in the right direction in regards to education, their true history, health,
mhm,
finances. Like this is the opportunity now where there's so much abundance and so much opportunity to receive information in regards to how to build and how to connect and how
mhm.
to learn how to communicate with one another and how to support one another. So the book, how can they get your book, by the way?
Sure, it's at RizzaIslam.com. And it again, this is fully independent. So I always want to make sure I highlight the fact that my book was, of course, written by me, self-published, as well as edited by a Black woman. It was and is produced again by our people for everyone. But it's a beautiful thing to be able to say that you are self-published and that it is directly from your people. So I just want to make sure I highlight that. So just to make sure, because again, when you become an author, it's one thing, but when you become an author, you can say it was all in house. That's a completely different thing.
Wow, self-published. A lot of people right now are going to other online bookshops to purchase it. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I hear complaints about the where how they can't make as much money or how their books are not promoted the way they would like it to be promoted. So what
Mhm.
you've designed is sort of a system where it's all you and you're able to provide some type of employment for people who look like you if that's what you wanted to do. So
Correct.
that's the I got it. I got it. So I spell it right. It's RizzaIslam.com, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. And
Okay.
it's that's the biggest thing also because people they make it very enticing when it comes to Amazon shop or they have the different print shops or the different companies. They say, well, listen, you don't have to worry about anything. You just put in your book in here. We will print it. We will ship it. We'll do all the work, but we get 20% or we get 30%. We'll make it available on our platform. They give you all these different things. And if you want to do that, it's an option if you want to do that. But I said, I will never put my mind, because that's what a book is. It is your mind or a display of what is in your mind on this platform or that network. So you can literally only get it from my website. It is only authorized through my website. We do not have it on Amazon. I don't have it at Barnes and Nobles. I don't have it at any of those stores. As a matter of fact, when it comes to bookstores, I only have it at Black owned bookstores because I need our dollars to circulate with us. So Black owned bookstores in Baltimore, Black owned bookstores in DC, Black owned bookstores here in Long Beach and LA. I have it at Black owned bookstores, but I will not have it in any other place that I know doesn't necessarily go directly to feed the economy of our people first.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Let me make sure I get that website up here so you guys can get that book and get it ordered. So now I just want to say this book is not only for just millennials. I want the parents to order this book because there's some insight as to how you could assist your children. So
Yes.
you want it get it for yourself, you want to get it for the children. The grandparents should also be purchasing this book, because I think there's a disconnect with the younger people, the youth, as opposed to the elderly, where there's a lack of communication, or understanding each other.
Hmm.
So you can get some type of guidance by reading this book. So I want to definitely say, you guys get out there, Rizza Islam, get the book. So you published it yourself and everything.
Yes, absolutely. And the other side of it is, um, the other thing is, because a lot of people, they have to build up their network first. This is the thing I always want to highlight as well, because a lot of people say, "Man, well, how did you sell these books in your own network? You didn't pay for any promo." Because I have done the work in the community years before I got onto social media. So this is another thing, sister, that we have to make very clear is the people who do the work in the community and then bring it onto social media have a very specific advantage. So I didn't start on social media doing the work. I started in the community, and I still do the work in the community and brought that on to social media. And at that point, your network is built because you have the people behind you. So I can say now, I think we've sold independently over 40,000 copies, and it's just been from the work. No ads, no promos, paid for no positioning anywhere on any platform, just literal groundwork with the people.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely amazing. So, in a sense, you're also assisting people with how they can promote and build their own business without going to these outside resources where everyone wants money, everyone wants a cut, everyone wants a piece. You can build your own empire on
Hmm.
your own,
Yes.
and this
Yes.
is with the support of the community.
Hmm.
Right, so you got to
Absolutely.
get out there, you got to make the connections, you got to get rid of that shyness, because a lot of our brothers and sisters are like, I can't step out there, no, not
Hmm.
me.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Wow.
Do the groundwork. Just do the groundwork. A lot of people now, I get this all the time whenever I have a book signing, in between doing, the tours that I'm doing as far as educational moves. I have a lot of people ask me every single time, how do I get my book out there? Well, you don't have to ask that question if you're already out there. If you're already doing the work, that's just something you're offering to the people as a part of your work. So that's really it. People were asking me about a book for years because of all the free information that I've been giving out since I've been on social media and been in the community. They said, "Man, you need to write a book. You need to write a book." And I was pushing away from it because I just love doing the work. That's just me. I love helping the people, providing the right information, solutions, bringing us together, fighting against this system, because I can't stand this system. Never will trust it ever. And I love my people. So, uh, yeah, but I was told so many times that you should have a book because that helps for those who can't access social media at a certain point, or they can study on their own. I understood. And at a certain point, I said, you know what, let me just sit down and put something together. And I was able to make this happen. And for those who are in different generations, I did also include the age understanding between generations. So there are a number of topics in here that will connect generations. So social media is its own chapter. The field of mental health is its own chapter. Going into the mental manipulation of the masses, dealing with the movie theater type system or the mainstream media is a topic in here, as well as a chapter dealing with the college educated versus the autodidact or the self-taught person, self-learned, dealing with statistics and college and all of that. That's its own chapter. So all of these things bridge gaps between generations.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. And then you see, that's exactly why I said grandparents, parents. If you got any great grandparents out there, shout out to the older people,
Absolutely.
all of y'all. All of y'all. So this is for everyone. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Willie. Good evening, Will Justice, and
Cousin right there. Peace of mind.
OG La Jordan and Alana. Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so wonderful to see you guys coming in. Let us know if you have any questions. You guys just came in, so you could purchase the book at rizzaislam.com. And I definitely want to say, you know what? Even if you don't even have millennials in your house, I know y'all got some millennials around y'all, nieces, nephews, maybe your next door neighbor. I know they're around there somewhere. So if you're running, even if you're working in like a school and you have these individuals in there and they're studying amongst you and you're struggling with communicating with them or really understanding from what angle or perspective, because I know at times we look at them and we're like, what are they thinking about? What's going on in their head? Where are they? Where, and you're struggling with trying to figure out what's going on with these young people right here. And the day and the time that they're living in right now is different than the days and the times. You can go back as far as maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and maybe even 5 years ago. As recent as 5 years ago, and things are changing, and it's going to keep changing. And so we have to keep up with them because they're moving, and they're not afraid to jump on these social medias. Got mine. You got a millennial at home? She said, I got mine.
That's right.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're everywhere in our society. And the faster we get a hold of them to guide them and to show them and put them on the right track, the better off, they will be, and the better off we will be as a community. And I know a young brother who reached out to me, and he wanted me to ask you a question.
Sure.
And I'm going to read his question. He said, so what sort of guidance or assistance could you give this is specifically for Black men, by the way, as a Black male millennial, because we're always hearing, don't drink, don't hang out, don't. And he was like, he would like to hear somebody say, well, okay, do this and do that as a Black male millennial. And don't worry, ladies, I didn't forget y'all. I'm a woman, so I'm gonna have him answer for y'all too.
That's
okay?
Right. I'll say the first thing is find your purpose is the first thing you want to do, right? You want to look at exactly what your purpose is. Start to look at where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? Look ahead in the future and start planning right now. The biggest thing that a lot of us do is we do not spend enough time looking in the future about things, planning ahead of time. We know that the original man originally planned roughly 25,000 years in advance. So let's just be real serious when it comes to this. Look at where you want to be. Look at what type of goals you have. Do you want children? Do you want to have a certain amount of money? Do you want to have spiritual goals? Do you want to have a house? Do you want to own land? Do you want to have a certain level of health? Where do you see yourself going? Okay, that's first thing, which when you start talking about that, a lot of people are like, well, man, I don't feel like talking about that because now it sounds like I need to do something. Well, the question is dealing with doing. So yes, it takes work. So you want to look at that. Start writing down your goals. I'll say start with at least 5 short-term goals, 5 short-term goals within the next 3 months. 5 things. What do you want to do? Write just 5 of those. Write those down. Then write down 5 long-term goals, meaning within the next year to 3 years. Put them down. Like really, no matter how crazy they sound, doesn't matter how crazy they look, write them down. And then you can start working toward them. Next thing I'll say is look at the people who are doing the things that you want to get involved in the future. Look at the best examples in the financial world, the best examples in the spiritual world, the best examples who are engineers, doctors, those in the medical field, those in any area that you see yourself going in. Look at the greatest examples of those and find out what they did. So you want to duplicate what's successful. Be intelligent about this. If you see somebody, let's say, okay, if you're a basketball player, I wouldn't encourage every Black man to go and put no damn jersey on and just play basketball. But that if that's what you want to do, fine. Look at who the best player is to you and look at what he did or what she did. Look at what they did. Study their playbooks. Study their pattern. Did they practice for 2 hours or 4 hours a day? Did they eat proper food? Did they just eat junk food? Did they read books? Did they exercise 3 or 4 times a week? You have to really study those who were successful in the area that you want to be successful in. And you apply that to every single career. This goes for everybody. And the last thing I will say is be honest with yourself and do not allow anyone to take you off of your goal once you set it. It doesn't matter what anyone has to say. If they say, man, I don't think that's going to be possible, you sound crazy, that ain't never going to happen. I don't think you'll ever be able to make that. Don't listen to them. You follow your dream. If it's a positive, good dream, focus on it and really work hard towards it. You can make it happen. Trust me when I say there are things that I've been able to do that I never thought would be possible. Never. Whether they say because you didn't have enough money, you didn't have the right talent, you didn't have the right connection. Trust me, focus on it, believe in yourself, and keep moving towards that goal.
Wow, wow. So it's really all about discipline,
Hmm.
concentration, focus, and putting in the work. And I will admit, family, nothing is gonna come to you by just laying on the sofa, playing video games, eating Cheetos.
Come on.
You gotta get up, you gotta put the work in, you gotta make the connections, you gotta step out there, you gotta get excited and
Mhm.
enthusiastic about this particular thing that you want to create or that whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And by all means, anyone who wants to discourage you or block you or tell you, because I've heard students say teachers kind of discourage them and say, you shouldn't do that. That's not the right, thing for you, and you should probably do something else. And I know that we expect more from adults. However, if this is something that you want to do, you have to work hard for it. You have
Yes.
to get out there. You have to. If you see Kobe, I think Kobe Bryant, they said he was getting up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning going to practice. I mean, at first I was just like, oh God, who's getting up 3 or 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? I'll get my beauty sleep. But if that's something you want to be a great basketball player or a great football player, if you want to be a great writer, you're going to have to read a lot of books. You're going to have to get your writing skills. You're going to have to extend your vocabulary. You're going to have to
Mhm.
be around other creative writers, right? And you're going to
Mhm.
have to get out there and promote your book. If you want to be the person who are making movies and the type of movies that you want to make, you want to be the next Spike Lee. And I remember Spike Lee telling a story where he lost $10,000 on his first movie. You got to understand that when you're working towards your goal and you're striving and you're trying to accomplish them, there are going to be mishaps. There may be a little bit of failures, but you gotta keep going. I'm pretty sure, Rizza, you've experienced some of those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll mention this, to be honest with you. Um, the biggest thing I've noticed within our generation, and I'm not the only one who has said it, it's the lack of discipline and how easy we give up on things if they are slightly difficult. Not even really difficult, just slightly difficult. Opposition is what makes you great, meaning an opposing force, something, someone trying to stop you from doing the good things that you want to do. That will help you to understand where your character is. If you have pressure being placed on you, if you have a barrier coming against you to stop you, now you can see what you're made of. Are you really about what you say you about? Are you really trying to go to where you say you want to go? Are you really doing this? Is this really what you want to do? If not, okay, then go in another direction. But for those who pushed through, they have become extremely successful. I'll mention this when it comes to just with the book, since we brought up this as a topic. There was a situation because, of course, the system doesn't like your brother. So you don't get on the White House watch list for nothing. You don't get on the FBI watch list for nothing. You don't get put on the, I will say for now, what I know is the Georgia Homeland Security watch list for nothing. You can go and look up all of these things at this point. You don't get put on these lists for nothing. Either you're doing something very good or very bad. And that's the only area, right? At a certain point, when my books were being printed early on, I think this was 2020 because I released it in 2019. In the middle of 2020, I got a call from one of my members on my team, and they said the post office said they lost a pallet of books. A pallet of books is 2,000 books. Let me help y'all understand this. You don't lose 2,000 books. That's
No.
not possible to lose. All right now. So what I'm giving you is an example right now of when it comes to anything that you produce, any kind of product you have, even if whatever business you have, you can potentially face loss, and how you deal with that will determine how far you will go or not. So I could have just said, man, I'm forget this. I'm giving up on this thing. I don't even want to I don't want to deal with this. That's a lot of money. If y'all understand that I lost. And I could have said, forget this. Let me just work on something else. But I said, no, I understand exactly what we're dealing with because the system doesn't like your brother. So it's expected. And we continue moving, we continue doing the work, and the people continue to support because it's a benefit, it's an exchange. So my point is, I could have let that break your brother, at least when it comes to this, or I could have kept moving, and we decided to keep moving. So don't let certain things like that break you. it helps to see what your character really is. All the greats became great because they faced great opposition and they pushed through it. It's very simple. So, you can complain all day, or you can say, all right, I see where it is. Let me go ahead, restart, reorganize, and keep going. That's just how you have to do it.
Wow, wow. Look at Will Justice, show by example. Exactly,
Right.
exactly. Get our young people to look at these people as examples. Yes. Haters let you know that you have potential that they're afraid of.
That's a
Yes.
fact.
Cynthia ordered the book. Look, her
Oh, yeah.
son is graduating. Yes. You
Ah.
know what? If you got a 10-year old at home, y'all get the book. Get them started early, you know?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
that's crazy. Isn't it? Isn't that crazy? Smooth seas don't make great sailors.
mhm,
You're right about that. I love that saying.
mhm.
I want to talk a little bit about what one of the other brothers and sisters said to me. When you're leveling up and you're trying to expand and grow and create, there is a certain level of fear and anxiety. Like, how did you overcome that fear and that anxiety? Because it's a lot of intimidation around you.
Yes. Yes. First thing is you have to have a very clear motive. If your motivation, if your why is sincere, if it's true, if it's clean, no underhanded stuff, no secret agendas. No, I want to do this because of this. Very clear, very understood. Then nothing really can stop you at that point once you make a decision. You ever made we make the decisions to do the wrong things all the time. We make that clear. I'm going to do this. I don't care what nobody got to say. All right, and then we end up facing whatever consequences. But when it comes to making the right decision, there are barriers, like I said earlier, and things that will pop up, whether if it's people who are envious or jealous, whether if it's the system that continues to want to see us not succeed because that's a part of its nature, or if it's just our own self-inflicted anxiety because of us feeling like we can't make it, feeling like we won't be successful, feeling like we won't be able to make it happen. All of these barriers from the outside and the inside are things that we face. I decided to look at it from making my reason clear, making my motive clear, and saying, I'm going to do this because one, the people deserve to have A, B, and C. Two, the people need A, B, and C. And
Mm-hmm.
three, if I don't do it, then who the hell will do it? It's simple as that. If I
There you
don't,
go.
then who? Okay, make the decision, make it happen. And after all of that, anyway, the last question was, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? I'm not interested in failure because what I'm doing is a momentum or a movement towards progress for our people. Okay, so you're going to encounter negatives on the way. That's how this goes. But if your vision is clear, nothing is going to throw you off. I've seen too many people try to come up with a lot of justifications, excuses, and they'll lie to themselves. Reason I don't think I'll be able to do this. Well, brother, if I do this, I'm going to lose that. See, it's this fear, sister, that we have. The biggest thing right now is a fear of loss of money, a loss of opportunity, a loss of connections. Oh, man, I don't think they're going to like that. Who the hell cares? If what you're doing is right, then just do it. Just do it. I have a lot of people who didn't want to associate themselves with me because of how I fought against the system, but now they've lost and I've won in many aspects. I'm like, I don't understand. It's 2024. We can't still be afraid to speak the truth or to stand on the truth anymore. I don't understand that. It's 2024. There is no reason for us to lie or tiptoe when it comes to anything anymore. Stand on the truth, fight for the truth, be successful with it. Other than that, there is nothing else for me. I'm not in the middle of it. Well, sometimes I'll play that. No, I'm not interested. Just going to keep going straight because this is the direction we need to be in. We've already seen the negatives. We know how horribly our people have been treated, whether if it's from one another or from the system. Okay, I'm not interested in going down anymore. We're going to go up and we're going to keep making it as successful as possible.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yo, the level you have to be authentic, you have to be true to yourself, you have to operate with integrity and honesty. Where your morals and values, are they in alignment with the people that you're working with, so that you can have the proper support team? Because you will lose some of these people who you think or believe are your friends, and all kinds of episodes could be happening where they'll try to block you. But once you start to level up, guess what? That's their loss.
Yes.
That's not your loss. That's their loss. They lost on that one. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's the way it goes. Alana, can you tell me how you were able to build a strong team and connections? I have had people that are supposed to be friends sabotage my goals. What this?
Very good.
Hey.
Very good question. Sister, you were just saying it already as far as having those who are like-minded. I'm going to take it a step further. You want to have people who are like-minded, but also who are alike in their actions. So you have to watch what they do. And if what they do connects and adds up to what you do, meaning you're both in the same lane or you're both on the same motive, you're both going toward the same goal because you see what they do, because anyone can talk. We have a lot of good talkers. People sound wonderful. They get on podcasts, they get out here and talk, make your emotions feel good, make you sound good, get you mentally stimulated. All that is nice. But what do? The people who you connect with are those who do those things that go towards the same goals that you have, and they do it because they know it's right, not because they want to impress you. Here's another thing that you got to be careful of when you're looking at people trying to get on, be on your team. A lot of people do things because they know you're watching them. And so they do it to impress you, not because it's the right thing to do, not because it's what they want to do, or it's because it's on the part of their goal or their mission, but because they know in order for me to get on his team or her team or get connected to her or him, I'm going to put on a good show. And you have a lot of people doing that. But what saves you from getting caught up in that trap is by looking at their track record long before they ever met you. And the biggest thing I'm going to tell you now is look at the track record of the people who you associate yourself with and be honest about what you find. See, when I have people around me, I know my people. I know us. I know my family. I know my associates, my friends. I know this one is not good with money. This one is good with money. This one cannot be trusted around, whatever, the food we got in the back. This one, I can absolutely trust him or her to handle the food that we have. So you got to be honest about it with love. We love our people now, but we know exactly who we can trust with certain things and who we cannot. And we need to be honest about it and put the right people in place. That's all. But look at the track record of everyone that you surround yourself with, and be patient to know that the right ones will come, because it is magnetic. It's what happens. The right ones will come. Early on, the first person who was on my team, who was my booking manager, my agent, the one who was scheduling my events and interviews and all that, was my mother. Just so y'all know. She said, I don't trust nobody to handle your business. And she did it instead. And that's, again, I know her track record, so I can trust that. And everyone doesn't have that. But again, look at the person's track record who you have around you, be honest about it, and then build accordingly from that point, and do the same thing for each and every person that you add onto your team.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Let me tell you, I am in the process of building my team, and I had to cut a couple of them away and make adjustments. And I realize that at times you have to readjust the team and restructure the team and reorganize the team, because I'm building a legacy. I'm building an empire. And
Yes.
so in order to be able to accomplish that and be able to do that, you're right. Can't have haters and blockers and manipulators and thieves and no. Where my money at? So
Yeah, look. and I will mention this as a shout out
brothers,
to both my sisters who are on, and peace to my sister just came in, as a shout out to both of you, and to the brothers watching. I will mention this because it's something that I have over the last now 5 years come to realize. You need to have the right women on your team. You have to have the right women. You have to have some women, is my point, on your team, but the right women on your team who believe in the mission. I would say about 85% of those on my staff are Black women.
Let me tell you, you are
Simple as
absolutely you are absolutely right. I have, you know what's so funny? I've tried to like work with some of the brothers, but it's this thing of I guess it could be ego or like, I'm in charge and your ideas are not smart or you're not good. And I'm like, you
Mhm.
have no idea who I am. You
Yeah.
have no idea what I know my worth. I know my value. And I'm going to show you what you lost. I'm going to show you what you was working with. So you are absolutely right. And I got a lot of support from the women. So shout out to my
Yes.
brothers and sisters and my ladies too. Family, I want to welcome Sister Kafunya. Sister Kafunya is joining us. As many of you know, Sister Kafunya, she works with the crystals. She actually helped my niece with a project, a homework project with crystals, and she got an A on that
Peace, peace.
project.
Rizza.
Also
I'm
want to
like,
say,
oh, sorry.
Kafunya works with the
What's
sound,
that?
Oh, they at the
you
school right
know.
at the
Hi,
bookstore
everyone.
right now. Peace, my sister.
Exactly, exactly. Welcome, welcome,
They can
welcome.
hear us?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Say
Look,
we just finished up with yeah, we just
man,
finished
it's
up an
rare.
event. We just finished up an event. You know,
Beautiful.
we're always building.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to be on long because my battery is like, because I was doing so many things, I forgot to
Hmm.
charge up my phone. But I'd like to welcome you, Rizza Islam, and to my sister, my beautiful sister, Miss Bliss. She's a good sister. And
Yes,
that's why I wanted that to happen for her. And
ma'am.
I'm a type of person that I like to see people win, and I like to connect up with good vibrations and energy. And I'm letting the people know, y'all better get your tickets because people have been calling, and don't wait till the last minute. And when I get a chance to recharge my phone, I will join back in again, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I see you, my sister. I
thank
see
you.
you.
Multitasking.
That's right.
Okay, one love.
Peace, peace.
One love, one
Yes,
love.
sir. Yes, sir.
Shout
Uh,
out to Sister California family, guys. The crystal teacher, the crystal manifestation sister. She also works with the sound healing, the bowls. If you guys don't know about utilizing the bowls for sound healing, if you need information regarding crystals and the beautiful energy that the crystals can provide, the healing energy that comes from the crystals, reach out to Sister Kufunya. I support her. I rock with her. As you know, she rock with me. And it's about the sisterhood in our community. So Ashe, there you go. She's very authentic, very real. We obviously have the same morals and the same values, and we are on our path.
absolutely. Yeah, this is good.
Absolutely.
See my sister, she
Yeah.
chiming in and as she said, multitasking. See, that's the work, y'all. That's how you know who's doing the work.
That's how she is all, she just came back from Africa. She called
Mm,
me. She's like, I'm thinking about buying land in Africa. And I'm just like, wow, like that's interesting. Like you're just gonna jump out there and just do it. And she was like, she sees it as an opportunity,
hmm.
as opposed to some people. I know some people who were saying, don't go over there, don't invest over there. They don't like us. And her mindset was totally different. So I want to say, brothers and sisters, always be aware of your mindset, your mentality, how you approach things. What is your thought process when you're thinking about making a move or doing something? You have to be strong in your mental to say, you know what, this is something I want to do. I'm going to get the money. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to go look at the land. I'm going to connect with someone who is in Africa or someone who's been going to
Exactly.
Africa every couple of months or every couple of years. And so that they could show me what they already know. And even if you got to,
Exactly.
give them a little bit of money, don't be cheap now because, money is currency. It's electricity and it is abundant.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
everywhere. So
and I wanted to just say this one thing. You know, people say, "Oh, be careful," where you go and everything. Listen, you got to be aware everywhere. It doesn't matter if you go to Europe, if you think, "Oh, Europe is so safe." Africa has its challenges just like everywhere else. And right now, we are so happy that we are realigning ourselves and having people such as Rizza Islam, to give us guidance, to help align us with our bodies and our minds, because we've been supporting everybody else except our own. So
Mm,
right now, there's a shift in the frequency of what's happening on the earth. So y'all better Get in where you fit in, because there's opportunities over there. You don't have to live there, but you can certainly invest there with the right people. Like Miss Bliss said, get with the right people. And like I believe I heard Rizza say, it's an energy, it's a frequency that, it will definitely come to you,
Yeah.
because thoughts create your reality, believe it or not. I was never taught that, so I would be thinking all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But now, because I understand that we're energy beings, we're electrical beings, we can make things happen for ourselves. It might not happen right away, but if you're consistent with
Mm,
it, and you love what you do, I know Rizza Islam loves what he does. Okay? I know that. I see that. I see it in the works. And I want to give a special shout out to Zakia, his team, and everything. We're all working in unison, just like the body works in unison. There's different organs and everything doing everything, but they're working in unity. And
hmm.
with that being said, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to charge up my phone and jump in where I need to jump in. But don't sleep on yourself. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Don't sleep on yourself, and just be real. Just love yourself first, and do what you need to do to make it happen for you. Come on, man. So I'm gonna mute my mic, and I already said it twice, but I'm gonna I'm gonna mute my mic again. All
We
right.
appreciate your sister.
Uh, yes, I.
Thank you, thank you. Jump in whenever you feel like it's just the
Right.
conclusion. You more than welcome. You more than welcome. I love your energy. I love your energy, Riz. I love both of you. Your energy is just absolutely wonderful for this platform, and I'm so grateful to have you guys. I want to just say, when it comes to supporting each other, we can support each other in various ways. We can support each other in our businesses. We can support each other emotionally, guiding one another, providing some type of unity and togetherness in the community, like a oneness that represents the universe. No
Hmm.
more of this divide and conquer mentality, separating us via religion or complexion or color, separating us by just shapes and sizes or hairstyles or hair textures. Like, share and expand on your business connections and get past this mindset of this mentality of, we're separate and I'm this and I'm from that. And like, we all should be working together, because the bottom line is, when we walk on Park Avenue in one of them stores, them expensive stores, they're following all of us all over the stores based on who we are as a people. So why not work with one another and support one another? If I have a store and I have a storefront, connect with me. I'm going to put your product in my store. If you have hair products, if you have a clothing line, you have food that you're growing at your farm and you want to put it in my store, you got a book that you wrote, you can put it in my store, furniture that you're creating, herbs that you may be selling. Learn to support and build and connect with people who look like you, and learn to build like a trust with one another. We have to get past this idea that we don't like each other, we don't trust each other, or you're from a different country, or you look different. Like, I don't know if you've experienced any of this, Rizza, where they were saying, oh, don't mess with those people.
Yes. Yes, I have. And I love us, but sometimes we can get real crazy when it comes to certain basics. None of our people have done more evil than this system has done to us collectively. So sorry, but I'm always direct when it comes to where my energy goes towards. I love my people. I completely despise this satanic system. 100%, period. My people are my people across this planet, all 196,940,000 square miles of it. The original melanated people, man and woman and child, are my people. However, this system is the number one most dangerous when it comes to the overall progress of us as a people. And therefore, I can't take my attention off of it and say, we are just so terrible, I don't want to trust any of us. No, there are always some negatives among our own people that we need to handle, that we do need to handle. So let's not get that twisted. We have things we need to work on, things we need to fix, things we need to address and be held accountable for sure. However, we are doing far more positive in many different areas than we're doing far more positive in many areas than negative. So when it comes to doing business, for example, I have a brain supplement, sister, that I just released a couple months ago. It is called Intellectual Power. This right here, Black owned, Black produced, Black harvested, and the ingredients come from the island of St. Lucia. So
Mm.
I went into business with some of the Rastafari down in the islands, and I go to the island. We harvest these by hand. The sisters do the cutting and the clipping. The brothers, we pull the herbs out of the ground. We do this together. That's the Caribbean, and here a Black man from Compton in California doing business together. So you mean to tell me, oh, they don't like me, I don't like them? Sorry, that's not true. So I don't put my individual negative experience and generalize an entire group of people because of one negative experience. I don't do that. I don't ever hear an African, I'll just say it this way, say, I don't like y'all, and say, we don't like you. No, there's no we. No one person can speak for over a billion and have it stick. You can't do that. Like we have to stop. See, it's the generalizations that we have this problem with, sister, where we speak so general about things that don't apply to all of us. Like, wait, it's like saying all Black men are this negative, all Black women, y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of whoa. You haven't met all Black men, you ain't met all Black women. So with respect to all of us, keep us out of your little traumatic squabbles between you and that person who you decided to mess with. Don't do that. Don't demonize an entire group of people, and particularly our people, one another, because of the negative actions of maybe one or even two. Let's not do that. I have a lot of beautiful connections with our people across the diaspora of the planet, and we do beautiful work because we have the same motive. We want to see our people free and in a beautiful condition of freedom, justice, and equality up here. That's what we want. So if that's what you're doing, then I'm your brother. But if you are going against our people, then no, I'm not your brother. It's that simple. So I've experienced this, sister, but I don't rock with that. I don't get involved in any of that. And I'm very matter of fact about it. Very, because again, no one owns Brother Rizza other than Almighty God, Allah, the universe, the Most High. That's it. My leader is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That is who I follow. I say that in a room, in a stadium full of white people. I've done it on many occasions, and they respect and they applaud. Yeah, they do that all day long because of my confidence and my sheer respect of when I say what I'm saying. It's not meant to disrespect anyone, but it just is. Say what you say, mean what you say. If your people have not done so many horrible things to you, then don't generalize all of your people. Black women are phenomenal. Black men are phenomenal. Our people are amazing. Period. Do we got a few messed up ones out here who need to, clean themselves up? Yes, absolutely. But I love the worst of us as well as the best of us. So sorry, I don't fall into that.
Ashe, Ashe. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for saying that, because I feel like there's a lot of people that needed to hear that, because it's like they take that one spoiled apple and they just throw it in a bunch and just assume that everyone else is that way. And what you do is, in my personal opinion, is you block yourself from the
Yes.
blessings, because you may be looking for that deal or that partnership, and I'm talking about big opportunities, and you're like, I'm not going to deal with that group. I'm not going to deal with that person. I'm not going to deal with those over there. And you're trying to stay in this little lane right here with these people, and it may not be there. The connection could be somewhere else. So you have to open up your mind to be able to say, you know what, the opportunities may be in another group of people somewhere. That connection that you need, you have to. And even if it's just, because a lot of us have grown up with these thoughts and these mentalities for many years, and I guess you feel like it's sort of embedded in you. So take baby steps. Just kind of get to know them, and watch them, like Rizza says, observe. Are they in alignment with your journey and what you want to do? And then you don't make moves. Fear. Be fearless. Be fearless. So Alana has a question. I have one final question. Rizza, do you respond to emails or have a PO box? How does a person like myself get in contact with you? I'm looking for answers and resources. I think you can help. Do you give classes or anything like that also?
Well, classes I do. through my membership group. We do that. And once a month, also, we do free online events. So everybody can come in online for free virtually. That's once a month. So I'll say this to this person here, however, because I do respond to emails as well. If you go to rizzaislam.com, scroll down, and you type in your message there, it'll have you put in your name, your email, and whatever it is that you would like to send to me. It'll go straight to my team's email. They send it to me. I read it and respond as quickly as I can. So we check the email, I think, every day. So you can definitely do that.
Okay, so there's the email, family. If you're looking for any information, if you want to know if he's going to be at a certain book signing or a certain store or a certain event, and if you want to connect with him, if there's any classes coming up, make sure you you reach out to him on the email. And you're on Instagram.
Yes.
What is, because Instagram is probably very busy because most of the social media is like chaos. Even my social media, I can't keep up with it. So what is your Instagram?
It is Rizza Islam IX. Rizza Islam IX. And this is my 8th page.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
The most censored brother.
You
on
maintain 8
media.
pages, or 8 pages meaning they've shut you down?
They've shut me down that many times. And it's not a, okay, so people will say, man, they're trying to take down my page, Okay. Brother Rizza's specific circumstance is that the president of the United States, Joe Biden, literally has placed me on a list of 12 people. That list is called the Disinformation Dozen. This took place in February of 2021. They met with the state attorney generals. They met with the, I believe, CEO of Google. They met with the CEO of Twitter at the time, as well as Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. And they said, you need to take these 12 people off of all of your platforms. So this came from direct government presidential order. This is not just an algorithm. Brother Rizza was putting up there a picture with him having guns or something and so violated the guidelines. No, this was direct government order of pure censorship, violation of the freedom of speech, First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And they said these 12 have over 75% of influence across the internet on the planet, where they said misinformation about the shots are concerned. And so they did a strategic hit on taking us off of all these platforms. Now, I wanted to just make sure I mention that for those who are watching so they can understand exactly why that took place. That was now 2021 in February. We're talking about 3 years ago. We just came from the United States Supreme Court roughly 3 weeks ago, where I did a presentation in front of the Supreme Court, because now the case dealing with us 12 and a number of others against Joe Biden, against the CDC, the FBI, the HHS, the FDA, all these government organizations, along with over 80 other individuals and plaintiffs, has gone toward the Supreme Court. We won in a lower court. It is now at the Supreme Court, and they're going to make the decision in June of this year as to whether or not the government violated the freedom of speech and the First Amendment, where Brother Rizza Islam is concerned, presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was also on that list of 12, and the 10 others. So the U.S. government is now going to come out and say whether or not they violated our constitutional rights, because what we're doing is fighting for the freedom of speech of all over 332 million people in America. Whether y'all know it or not, that's what we're doing. And that's the situation that's taking place. And it took 3 years. It took 3 years. And now, you know, again, they're like, yeah, so far, it looks like we kind of did do that. And if they would not have done that, we would have potentially saved hundreds of millions of more lives, because everything we said turned out to be true, right, and exact, sister. And that's, by the way, also what I'm going to be doing a presentation on when I go to Nicholas Bookstore in Brooklyn, which is why, again, everyone should make sure you get your tickets. I believe it's in the chat, but I'm telling you now, it is much bigger than you know. It's in the mainstream now. They did a study on 99 million people who took the shot, and they have determined that a number of issues have come up as a result. Everything from brain injuries and brain issues to Bell's palsy, half your face hanging down, to myocarditis and pericarditis, heart swelling and heart inflammation, a return of Guillain-Barré syndrome, and now they're referring to something called turbo cancer, where cancer is skyrocketing as a massive result of not only from those who took the shot, but of course with the diet, etc., and everything else. So everything we said turned out to be true. So I want to make sure
Wow.
I highlight all that.
Wow. I tell you, it's pretty much a battle out here, and it's like you're in the wilderness,
Mhm.
from like many, many years ago. I want to shout out to you for you said St. Lucia. I've actually been to St. Lucia before. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful island, and the people there, let me tell you, I've been to many, many islands before. I love to travel. When I went to St. Lucia, the people were so beautiful, so loving,
Mm.
so welcoming. And you went out there and you're communicating with them to get your herbs and everything. So are your herbs more of a thing where it helps people with focus and mental, or is it more like physical with building muscle, or is it more like stamina? Like who can use it? Is it older people or more like younger people?
That is a beautiful question. So the primary focus and intention of this brain supplement is for the brain and spinal cord nervous system. So the brain and all the nerves throughout the entire body. And the reason why I came up with this, here's the biggest thing that I'll mention, because I'm not selling nothing. So I got tired of the fact that we didn't have enough solutions to handle our physical issues. There are a lot of people who have supplements. That's a beautiful thing. What I noticed was over 5 billion people took that poison shot that this government issued. Over 5 billion people. And as a result of that, you're talking about over 5 billion people who we knew, from the scientists, the researchers, we already knew down the line, 5 billion plus people are going to come down with some type of physical ailments, some type of issues that there will not be enough supplements or enough solutions to handle. And I said, I need to start looking for a supplement, a company, somebody black owned, preferably, who has something that the people can at least take to help them with detoxing, to help them with the nervous system, their blood, their lymphatic system, their immune system, and the reproductive system, because all of these are areas that those shots have negatively affected. So I wanted to start looking for solutions that would help with that, because I can't just get out here educating and teaching like I do on a regular. We've been talking and educating for years, but we need actual tangible physical solutions. We need them. Problem was, I couldn't find anyone who had something that would encompass all that I needed, that would address all of these areas. I put together a list of 27 or 28 things, issues with the body that I need something to resolve. And I sent that to a number of scientists, because I work with different scientists, different researchers, of course, medical doctors, naturopaths, herbalists, you name it. And I sent it to a number of them, and they gave me different herbs and different protocols, and all of that was beautiful. I said, but that's going to cost maybe $400 or $500 for people to get all of these things.
Mm.
And my deal was, okay, I need something that can help with overall health in one capsule that can at least tackle a number of things in overall health, that can be taken by elders and children alike, that can be taken by anyone, whether if they are vegan or if they are a meat eater, that can be taken regardless of their religion, etc. So I couldn't find anyone. Doesn't mean that something like that doesn't exist, but I couldn't find it. So I said, either I'm going to get back out here and continue educating the way I was already doing, and trying to just say, hey, go find whatever solution you can, or I'm going to create one. And I decided to create one. So what you have here are 13 of some of the most potent herbs on the planet from the island of St. Lucia that help and that are very well known for helping with the nervous system, the immune system, with the reproductive system, the lymphatic system, all of these different areas. And if you go to the website intellectualpower.net, you'll see we have almost 100 5-star reviews already from people who have been taking it. You can actually see it on the screen once you go to the website intellectualpower.net. And again, it has been far more successful than I could have ever imagined, because of how many people are sending in their results from what they are experiencing. You have people talking about the inflammation in their ankles is gone. You're talking about people who are dealing with sciatic nerve pain, people dealing with, as you mentioned, is it for energy, stamina, muscle building, etc. Sleep is one of the biggest responses that we are getting. Better rest, because at least 6 of the ingredients in here help with establishing reproduction of nerve cells. So you're talking about vervain, for example, some of the ingredients, blue vervain. You're talking about sensitiva, patchouli is another one. Of course, we have basil. Of course, we have soursop, sea moss, bladderwrack, turmeric. I mean, there's a lot of carpenter's bush, fitweed. So I have some of the herbs here that I never heard of. All right, being from Compton, I never heard of that one. All right, I've heard of some turmeric, basil, and rosemary, but I've never heard of some of these other, heavily exotic herbs. And in their combination, I also sent the concoction to a PhD cellular molecular biologist, one of the top qualified scientists in the world, a Black woman who did a full scientific analysis of all 13 ingredients in combination to see what the results are. So on our website, I have the science page that has a large amount of studies dealing with every ingredient. And then the scientist by the name of Dr. Christina Parks did a full overview analysis in text and a 12.5-minute video breaking down the overall scientific benefits of all these herbs in combination and what they do for the body. So it's not a joke, sister. It's not a joke. And I went to the furthest area that I could go in. This is 100% self-funded. There are no loans. I have no co-sponsors. I'm not a 51% majority owner. I am 100% the owner of this. This is Black produced, Black harvested, Black owned. The bottle is Black. Okay, I want to make it clear. down to the bone. This is 100% vegan, down to the capsules itself, which are made from vegetable fiber. Again, 13 ingredients, wild harvested, non-GMO, organic, no chemicals, no heavy metals, no radiation. I'm telling you now, I said I have to make something because I can put my name and reputation behind this. I couldn't do it for pretty much anything else. Just making that clear. And again, it goes towards, we just hired 4 more new staff. So we provided 4 more jobs on top of the 5 we already had. So we have Black women a part of the team, Black men, and I believe 3 teenagers. So it's all going toward the same mission, and it's healing, helping to heal. That's my biggest thing. Someone says, has been tremendous for sleeping and focus for me personally. Beautiful. So it helps with all that system. Energy, rest, you name it. It's a lot. But I want you to see the results of what people are saying themselves. If you go to the website and you look at that, you'll be able to see it yourself. I don't even like talking about it that much, but it's a health solution. And that's what I'm very thankful for, is that we actually have that on top of the education. We have something that they can grab and say, look, here is a solution. If you want it, cool. If not, that's fine. But at least I can say I have something.
Yes.
I just like to chime in, Brother Rizza and Miss Bliss. You know, in our sacred texts, it always speaks of the herbs are the healing of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
It always speaks about that. It speaks about crystals too. It speaks about essential oils and everything. Yet our people have been indoctrinated not to follow these scripts. And that's why we're in the trouble that we're in right now with all of these various health conditions that that are being put upon us. Everything is weaponized, from the water to the food, certain foods and whatnot. And I'm very, very happy and pleased to know that you have provided a solution, because we can talk about all the problems that we
Yes.
have, you know. But right now, for me, I'm a solution based type of individuals, and I like to link with people. Let's look at the problems, or the challenges, I like to say. Let's look at the challenges. Let's see what we can do about it, because we have the most high, infinite creator within our bodies, but we have been duped to think that, quote unquote, the so-called powers that should not be has a better solution that our God force within us has for us and
Mhm.
has given us the blueprint. And I just wanted to jump in and say that. And I'm very, very excited and grateful that you have chosen to build with us in Brooklyn. And I'm very happy to know that Nicholas Brooklyn, myself, and Monique are co-hosting you to bring solutions, my brother, because enough of the other garbage that's going around and enough of the distractions that are going on. Let's realign and build who we are. Well, didn't Yahshua the Christ said, "Know that ye are gods"? I
Mhm.
mean, what are
Come
we
on.
forgetting here?
Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank
Come on.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
Absolutely. Brothers and sisters, I want you to pay attention. We got testimonies in here. 86 says, has been tremendous for sleep and focus for me personally. IX intellectual, I take it every day. Emphasize the word every day. This is something you can take every day.
Mhm.
Energy, focus, sleep, memory. I felt the difference after the first day. Rizza, like I want to say shout out. You mentioned some herbs that I'm very familiar with. Grateful for Dr. Sabi because I learned those herbs that you mentioned from Dr. Sabi. But you also mentioned some that I never heard of. So, your girl here, she be in the, the supplements and doing her thing. And I'm definitely gonna order it. And do not be surprised if you hear Miss Bliss was flying somewhere because I took your supplement and it's like, what is going on? Because I will let the family know. I'll be like, y'all, I
Mhm.
took this, and then yeah, I was just floating. So I
Mhm.
definitely, I'm excited about taking this because this is right up my alley. Right up my
Absolutely.
alley.
I definitely wanted to make sure, again, as I said, sister, the motive is very key as to why we do what we do. And as I said, I already knew what was taking place when they were pushing what they were pushing. So I said, okay, if they're pushing this, I'm already looking at what's about to go down. And it is happening as far as the overall damage to the health of tens of millions of people. So much so to where, let me just give you a brief understanding of this. The government of Canada has paid out over $7 million to families and individuals who have proven that that shot, the CV-19 shot, has either harmed them or ended with someone losing their life. That government has already paid out over $7 million to families. The government of the United Kingdom has an entire plan and program set up and has been paying people money as a result of them proving that that shot has harmed and or ended with someone losing their life. Australia is now paying people because they mandated that people took it. They're paying people right now who have proven that the shot has either harmed them or ended with someone losing their life. Multiple governments all over the planet are saying we were wrong. The number one government that isn't doing that, who is still trying to hold on to this facade, this fake illusion, is the United States government. But everybody else has seen it. You have leadership all throughout Europe going off on Pfizer. You're talking about the parliament, the European Parliament, and I'm talking about leaders from Spain, leaders from Italy, leaders from Germany, leaders from all over Europe going off saying that we paid for these shots from you, Pfizer in particularly, and they said they weren't safe and effective. We have reports from our people all across our nations dying, having large numbers of cancers, tons of people in the hospitals as a result of the shot. And they are going off on Pfizer, saying that Pfizer needs to be held accountable. They need to be sued. They need to pay for the medical bills of all these people because they were lied to. This is happening right now as we speak. So again, this is the fallout that we're seeing. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. They don't want to see the truth. But sister, by the time they admit it here in America, it's going to be a lot of people in a very negative position. So again, I couldn't just be in the same situation of saying, yes, we were right. We warned the people. We did our best. No, I know the people are going to need help physically. They're going to need that. And if I can't say, go get this, go get that, we have plenty of protocols and detoxes. That's beautiful. But there are a lot of people who say, okay, is there one thing that I can take for some overall health that can help with detoxing, help with this, help with that? I can at least say I do have one that I can get behind is my biggest thing, because I couldn't get behind. I'm telling you, sister, I I met with a lot of people, and there was always something. There was always something, even if it was just the container is plastic, even if it was just that, I can't get all the way behind it. I couldn't. So I had to establish something to help the people. That was the biggest thing. So I just want to make sure I kind of give you all that so you know the full backstory of it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Let me tell you, family, I want to encourage you to maintain your overall health. So when I say your overall health, yes, I'm talking about your physical health. I'm also talking about your emotional health,
Mm-hmm.
your mental health, your psychological health, your financial health, just
Mm-hmm.
your overall health. And just make sure you take care of your mind, your body, your spirit. And if you're going to do a special diet, okay, that's fine. If you're going to maintain, positive thoughts, if you're going to do, if yoga is your thing, tai chi, qigong, or working out, just make sure you're putting your best foot forward to take care of yourself. And that includes ordering the herbs that the brother's offering, including if you have a family member who's not in a position to be able to order it for them. Or if you just order one bottle, hell, I'm the type of person, I'll order the herbs and I'll share it with the family, so that they could see, okay, here's what this is, here's how it's working. And then they can now order their own and maybe they'll share it with their friends. And so what happens is that you have this word of mouth expansion going on. And this is how we're building and connecting and assisting one another, because this journey that we're on is a healing journey. And so
Yeah.
we need healing on so many different levels: physical healing, emotional healing, financial healing, like just healing. I can't even begin to explain the level of healing that we need as a Black community.
Mm-hmm.
So, I invite you to definitely, here's the intellectual power .net website where you can check it out. And I put the other website on here for you guys if you wanted to order the book, uh, RizzaIslam.com. Of course, that's his Instagram. Support the brother. Follow him on Instagram also. And we got a little comment here. Ex Intellectual says, a lot of elders that take it are saying it's helping with their memory, their
Mm-hmm.
energy. It's the real deal. Intellectual power truly is a power solution. You see? You
Mm-hmm.
see? So it's for everyone. You guys get on this health journey right now and make sure that you're able to sustain this life that we have here in this on this earth in the third dimension. Because I'll be in the fifth and the sixth dimension
Right,
watching
right,
y'all.
right.
Definitely, definitely. I want to say, family, just entertain the idea of unity and togetherness. Like, show love and support for one another. And remember, it's each one teach one. I got your back, you got mine. Avoid, if you have the ability to avoid this negativity, any type of gossip or slander or defamation. You see, the brother here is telling the full story because you may have heard something, or you might have some type of idea. So he's providing you the full story so that you could say, okay, so here's what he told us, here's what's going on, so that you know what you're working with. Avoid any hate and envy or jealousy of one another, of course, because that prevents us from being a unified group. That prevents us from working together. So by all means, block and refuse the mentality of arguing and fighting. You see a situation and you're in the position to diffuse that energy of separateness, then definitely try to promote more of a unity, a togetherness, a oneness, like we're all one in this universe and we're operating together. Because if Rizza is healing, he's causing a certain amount of people to also heal. If I'm healing, I'm expanding also to cause a certain amount of people to heal. The same thing with Sister Kafunya. And so the more people, the more we heal the people around us. And
Right.
eventually you have a community of healers on so many different levels that, what do we got nothing else to do but to grow and expand, but to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's a
but you
fact.
got to get started. You got to get started. You got to get started. Look at Cynthia. She's like, yay, Cynthia, you ordered your book for your son? definitely, let me know. Feel free to come on the show if you want to read a couple of paragraphs or something like that. I'm all for that. I love it. I love literature. I love reading. I love all of that good stuff. I want to say also, Sister Kafunya is writing a poetry book.
Beautiful.
So she will be promoting her poetry book. If you feel like you have any, oh look, did she come back as soon as I mentioned her poetry book, she come
No,
popping up. She's like,
We
wait,
just spoke you up, sister. We just talked about you.
yeah, I was on the phone with Ross Ben. He's
Mm,
another avatar out of Philly, and I had to answer his call.
hmm.
You know how it go. We have our people that no matter what is going on, we go make the call. You
That's right.
know, we're gonna have the clarion call.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
Yeah.
exactly.
you just mentioned my.
Yep.
Oh my God! Give
So
thanks
so
and
you see, like, and I want to say, like, I know some people tell me, write a book. Like how am I gonna write a book? And does anybody want to hear or read what I have to write? And
yes, they
where do I
do.
get started? And you have two people here
Hmm.
who are telling you that they're doing it.
Yeah,
So all you
I'm
have to do
telling
is
you.
get started. And I don't know, did you guys ever entertain the ideas, like, what am I gonna say to the people, and how do I say it? Like,
Well,
I
I'll
say, and
explain.
Rizza, you got so much to say. Kafunya, you got so much to say.
Wait. Hold
Come
on,
on,
hold
y'all.
on, hold on. So hear me. I've been writing this. When you understand that sometimes you don't recognize the gift until you open it, right?
Hmm.
Until you open that gift, right? And I have a knack for writing certain things, and I started writing poetry, spoken word and stuff like that. And I didn't know that somebody wanted to actually hear what I had to say until Spirit said, "Excuse me, do you think I just gave you those words for you alone to deal with?" And that's when I started writing. But yet I was doing other things too. I was in the music business, and I put a lot of what I had going on the back burner to promote and market other people, which I full enjoyed that. But then Spirit said, excuse me, uh, you have all of these things, within you that you need to share. So I got everything together. I have it in a spiral, but now I don't know what I have to do next, or maybe what I have to do next will come to me, and somebody will come to me and show me, say, "Hey, Kafunya, this is what you need to do to bring it into the market." You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And then also I have a book about visions and dreams. That's already in a spiral form. But the other two books that are coming out is how I got into the crystal world, and how, being a woman in the music business, how did that come about? So I got, two more books to, get into a way where I can read them and edit and do what I need to do. But it's funny, because I comment on other people's content too, because I'll just read it, and Spirit will come to me and say, "You know what, put this out there." It's a gift that I didn't know until I opened the package, until I opened the gift. So
You know what? We all
yeah,
have so many gifts.
it's true. And we and when you get that much information, you know um to share, and King Simon, I have to shout out King Simon, got to shout him out,
Hmm.
because he says, "Kafunya, excuse me, uh when are you going to write your book?" And as soon, he said, because that's part of a legacy that can never done. When you write a book, it's always there for people to have. And I have some good stuff that can guide people and everything, because I was talking to a sister today in Nicholas, Brooklyn, and she was working on, this is the name Ashari of Uniquely Wired, was, teaching classes while the other stuff was going on. And she was a little emotional. And I said, "Sis, not Mashari, but the lady that I was talking to." I said, sister, you know what the magic word is? You're not stuck. You said you're going through something. And the magic word is going through.
Through,
You're going through it.
through.
You're not stuck. And and I told her, I said, if you have any negative things coming up, you just say, this thought is not loving to me, because we were never taught that. Well, at least we weren't taught. Maybe some the elites and occultists and everything were taught that thoughts create reality.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm learning
Absolutely.
that. I'm learning all of these things. And I want to tell the brothers and sisters in the chat that this is a beautiful time to be on the planet, because you're here for a reason. Not when somebody says, oh, the chosen people. We are chosen because a trillion sperm tried to get to one egg, and guess who arrived? Guess who turned up? You did.
That's
So
right.
you're here. You're here for a reason. And just do what you love, and the money will come, because we are the currency. And I listen to a lot of different avatars. I listen to Rizza Islam. I listen to Reverend Ike. I listen to people that will uplift my frequency. You know what I mean? And that's what I have to say. And thank you, Miss Bliss, for allowing me to be a part of something wonderful that you're doing. And thank you again, Rissa Islam. I can't wait. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna
Yes.
turn it up.
Right.
We're
That's
gonna
right.
turn
Thank
it
you,
up.
thank
Yes,
you, thank you.
yes, sir,
So,
yes, sir.
I want to say, Mrs. Tasha, I actually know her. She's a school teacher, and
Mm.
she was curious to know if Rizza, your books are any of the schools, because I think it would be a good idea if she could try to like purchase them and read it in the class or something, or get it in there.
Absolutely. Well, so to answer the question, they my book, interestingly enough, there are a number of schools who use my book in their curriculum. Okay, so that's an absolute yes for that. Are they accessible for that when it comes to a class? We do have that circumstance where teachers, if they reach out, we have special pricing for that, especially when it's for an entire class, or want to get it for a full school for their library, etc. They can reach out to my team, go to RizzaIslam.com, and we have certain prices for that. And the other thing is, my book, I actually was given this award here. As a matter of fact, it's from the Urban Reads bookstore in Baltimore, Maryland. And it's the humanitarian award presented to me dealing with not only this book, but a number of, major things that we do in the community at large. But my book was granted access into all of the prisons in the United States. But I guess one of the wardens must have read the first or second page. It was like, nope, we can't have this up in here. So they blocked my book from going into the prisons. So now we're trying to figure out how to make that available to them again, because our brothers and sisters who are locked down, we cannot forget them. And they need to have access to books that actually inspire them and give them proper information, not just the religious books. And that's the biggest thing that I didn't like, is that they let them have a Bible all day, and some of them a Quran, because some of the prisons don't even offer a Quran anymore. They just offer the Bible and some other religious texts. But a lot of the books dealing with science and history, and some dealing with law, they don't let them, have those. So yes, that is a very real thing. So when I found out mine were being blocked from the prisons, we're working that out again. But that's a major thing that I truly appreciate, is those who are locked down who want the book, but more so those who work with the publishing companies who have it on their catalog to get them in. That's another thing that I am very passionate about as well. So, yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's very interesting, because I know quite a few brothers who were in prison who utilize a lot of those books, those law books in particular,
Hmm.
civil practice law and rules, criminal law, to sort of know exactly what's going on in court and with these lawyers, because lawyers kind of speak another, it's almost like they're speaking another language.
They are.
So they had to level up on the intellect and in terminology so that they could say, okay, so what you're saying is this, and translate. to know exactly what's going on before they agree to something. So,
Mhm.
wow. So your book, they're blocking it. So it can't even be in the library. They can't order it for themselves. No way.
No, and most of the prisons, no, they blocked it for a minute. So we're reorganizing it, trying to get it back in. I don't know if there's a petition that we have to do or not, but I know my team is working on that. Again, because one thing is, because I'm on the White House watch list, in certain areas they can classify me as a terrorist domestically dealing with information. So of
Mhm.
course, if I'm on that type of a list, then of course they're not going to want my books to go into the prisons because they see that as a conflict. I know
Mhm.
this was, of course, another book that they blocked from a lot of prisons is this one here, The New Jim Crow by Sister Alexander. This is another book that
Oh.
prisons, The New Jim Crow. And because she did such a beautiful job, Sister Michelle Alexander, of exposing the mass incarceration, system and how they benefit from it by shredding up the Constitution and investing in the prisons and how they work hand in hand to push people into prison, not just a result from crime, but how they set up an environment of criminality, then shake hands with Wall Street, then put in policies on prisoners so that they can make money if they die, etc. Boom, boom. This book here was banned as well. So I don't know if that changed, but this was another one that was on that list.
Wow, wow. So yeah, family, if you guys can get a hold of these books and make sure you entertain some type of self-education, because certain things we're not going to learn in these schools, certain things we're not going to learn on the job, certain things we're not going to learn in college. At some
Mhm.
point we have to entertain the idea of educating ourselves, some type of self-education and doing our own research, our own due diligence, so we know exactly what's in front of us and what's ahead of us, so that we be more prepared as to how to move, as a people, Alana, yes, thank you so much. Alana says, when you're an empath, you how you hit pause until you can open the book. I get you, girl. Kafunya is exactly. Love and Light, I think you're asking, where did Kafunya purchase her land in Africa? I think it was Gambia, but I
Mhm.
will double check with her to make sure. But I think it was Gambia. But there are a number of brothers and sisters who are traveling the world and purchasing in the Caribbean and purchasing in Africa. I know a sister who's investing in Panama. So never be afraid to travel. I know a lot of people are telling me, they're afraid to travel. They don't know what to expect. Connect with someone who is traveling, or
Yes,
someone who is from that country, so it would provide some sort of comfort for you as you entertain the idea of going abroad or traveling abroad. So I definitely want to say, you know try it and of course do your research, and if you're traveling to a country where there's another language, you want to learn a little bit about that language, or carry one of little translators on your phone so you're not saying the wrong thing to the right people.
hmm
So, but yeah, I want to say thank you so much, Rizza Islam. Thank you for coming on. I'm so grateful, and so thank you for having you on my platform.
absolutely. No, I'm honored, sister, again, and truly appreciate the love, the spirit of the entire conversation. Bringing our sister Kafunya in, of course, this is a beautiful thing, and of course, it has to be done more often. Having people on platforms, because I noticed this. You have the platforms that are quote unquote larger, but they don't cater towards the deep substance too often. Too often, every now and then they do, but too often they don't. And they don't step out of the norm where they bring on the people who have the right knowledge. It's something that some of them have done, and I give them that credit, but they've told me either before or after the interview, they were nervous about this because they know now they're stepping into the realm of real deep community connection and activism. And it's like, well, that's what you want, I would assume. You want the real
Mhm.
knowledge, the real voices, not just celebrities and athletes and actors. Okay, all that is nice. That the star people, that's our people, yeah. But I want the people who are doing the work. I want those who the government doesn't like. I want those who have the knowledge, information, the historians, the science, the real information. I want those, and so I think if we do more of getting on to the platforms, not just the big ones, but getting on to all of our platforms, that can help build up one another as well. So again, I really appreciate you, sister, for having the platform, first of all, because I'm pretty sure you went through a couple, hurdles just to maintain it and continue building it. but you're still here. I appreciate it. And I want to let all the people know, make sure you subscribe to her channel. Make sure you tune in to see what other guests our sister brings on, whatever she's doing. Clearly, she's doing some beautiful work, because you don't get people just bragging about you unless you're doing something good. So I appreciate you again, sister, for having the platform and for having your brother on.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful. Shout out to Rizza Islam family. He will be in Brooklyn, New York later on this month. Shout out to Sister Kafunya. Make sure you guys get those tickets and show some love to our brothers. Show some support. Purchase the book. Purchase the herbs. And I want to see y'all floating out there with me when I start floating, when I take the herbs. All right, brothers and sisters, have a beautiful night. I love you. Thank you, Rizza. I appreciate you. Peace and love and